But you don't have to be. My dad makes going to the dentist comfortable and even fun. He won't be mad if you haven't seen a dentist in a long time. He just wants to take care of you and your teeth. If you don't see my dad, please see another dentist. Take care of your teeth because they're the only ones you get.
Shamblatt Family Dentistry in Hopkins and St. Paul. Find them online at shamblattfamilydentistry.com or call 1-800-FIX-MY-TEETH.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for sunny skies today with a high near 74. Tonight, clear with a low around 56. And Thursday, sunny with a high around 80. Treasure Island has set sail at Children's Theatre Company. Join young Jim Hawkins and the infamous Long John Silver on an adventure packed with pirates, sword fights, live music, and heart-pounding action. Tickets are going fast. Get yours today at childrenstheater.org. Again, that's childrenstheater.org.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPTA 20, Chicago's Progressive Talk. Welcome to The Gailey Show, the only daily LGBTQ radio news and talk show in the United States. I am your host, John Parker. Executive producer Jim Pounds in the studio with me today.
Hey, all.
And Patrick, how's it going in the control room?
Doing pretty well. How are you today?
Well, I have some tickets to give away.
You
all
always...
week long.
Yeah.
I've had tickets to give away. So let's see here. I really want to give away this ticket to Flip the Script Film Festival. This is $100 value, and it gives you, it's basically an all-access pass.
Right.
You can go in person to the films that opens on October 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
You can go all weekend in person. They're going to be at Film North, which is in Midway, right off of University Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can watch the films online through October 11th.
Right.
And they have feature films this year. They have documentary shorts. They've got comedy shorts. They've got narrative short films. It is a great pass, the all-access pass to have there. So I want to give one away. I have just one.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So 952-946-6205. 952-946-6205. The first caller gets an all-access pass to the Flip the Script Film Festival, which opens on October 3rd. And with the access pass and access to the digital films, you have access through October 11th. And the feature films, there's the animated comedy Lesbian Space Princess. There's Puppy Girl, which is a feature. There's a documentary called Sally, which is about... I always blank on her last name, Sally Gearhart, who was a activist and author, very connected to Harvey Milk. So that is going to be one of the films that you can watch in person at Film North, or you can watch at home as well. So 952-946-6205. First caller gets an all-access pass to the Flip the Script Queer Festival, running October 3rd through the 11th. Are we going to do Sasha Colby too now?
Oh, you want to do that?
Oh, let's do it now. Let's give
wow.
away tickets. It's the middle of the week.
You're drunk with power.
Drunk with power. So I've also got, how many pairs do I have of Sasha Colby tickets?
I would do a 4-pack. 4 tickets.
4 tickets?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. 4 tickets to see Sasha Colby at the Fillmore Theater in Minneapolis on October 9th. 4 tickets. My God, this has got to be worth over $200. So you and 3 other friends or 3 other family members can go and see a former winner of season 15 of RuPaul's Drag Race, and also made history as the first trans person to ever win RuPaul's Drag Race, and was also the first Native Hawaiian also to win RuPaul's Drag Race. This show has been going all across America. It is the second tour that Sasha has been doing. Apparently the first one was so big that she said we got to do a second one. So it is having its Minneapolis stop on October 9th. So 4 tickets available. I guess we're going to have like multiple calls coming in here, but 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. When you call in, I guess you can say you're calling in for the Flip the Script All Access Pass or for the Sasha Colby tickets. And the first one to call in will get
Their
access
choice, I
pass
guess,
or
of that.
the
Yeah.
4 tickets
I
to
think
Sasha Colby.
I think Sasha Colby would be described as sort of high-end drag performance. I know they've said that the show's
yeah,
for 18
totally.
plus, but I think it's like high production value and
Mhm.
costumes. And I mean, I think it's not to make any judgment of anything. I just feel like it's for $63 a ticket or something like that. I would call it high end. So if
Yeah.
you've never seen a drag show and you want to see the best, this might be your best choice.
Make an evening of it. You know, 4
Absolutely.
nights, go to have some downtown fun and
Yeah.
head over to the Fillmore.
Yeah.
All right. So what is on the show today? In the second half hour, Jake Wittich, managing editor for Windy City Times, is back with new reporting on Chicago's LGBTQ plus affairs director, the hiring of it, which is the first time this position has ever been created.
Oh boy.
The hiring has been delayed. There's apparently reorganization happening at City Hall. Jake's going to give us all the details on it. As this has gone on for months now to get this role. I mean, the first talking about it was last year. So to have it be delayed again, well, Jake's going to tell us what is going on there. For Bisexual Awareness Week, a bisexual pride flag, was raised for the first time in Logan Square in Chicago.
Wow.
Jake will tell us about that. And then this week is the 40th anniversary of Windy City Times.
Amazing.
Lots of stuff happening around that. So Jake is going to tell us about how the paper is celebrating their 40th year and how you Chicago listeners can jump in and join that as well. All right. Before that, though, this is an interesting story, and I'm not quite sure what to make of this. So Pete Buttigieg is pushing back about claims that former Vice President Kamala Harris is making about him in her new book, 107 Days.
Oh, dear.
I'm not quite sure what to make of this. I watched the interview on that Rachel Maddow had with Vice President Kamala Harris on Monday night. And so it was very curious to me to see Mayor Pete's response to it. Jimmy Kimmel is back on the air. We watched the monologue last night. Did you? If you are in Minneapolis in the 2 p.m. hour and want to talk about your reactions to Jimmy Kimmel's monologue, if you watched it or watched it today, I guess on YouTube or whatever, you can give us a call at 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205 to give us your thoughts on Jimmy Kimmel's monologue. It was over a commercial break, so it was a pretty long monologue. And I haven't seen the official ratings come in, but the online ratings were astronomical. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on Jimmy's return 6 days after he was indefinitely suspended by Disney and ABC. And they're getting the huge ratings when 25% of the country refused, 25% of ABC stations in the country refused to air. And major cities too, Portland, Seattle, Washington, D.C., couldn't tune in to their local ABC affiliate to watch Jimmy's return.
I want to get into that conversation when it comes up.
Yes. First, though, I don't know what it is about Wednesdays, but we have another shooting in America, this time at a Dallas immigration field office from a nearby roof on Wednesday morning. Now, my problem here is that we have a shooting. The investigators are on the scene. They're trying to figure out what's going on. The reporters are on the scene. They're trying to talk to eyewitnesses and report on the facts that the investigators are releasing. And then you have MAGA, who's running out there and saying, it's the far left. The far left did it. This is all the far left's fault.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to read here from the facts that we know from the Associated Press. And I actually wasn't really thrilled with the Associated Press's news break they had just before the show here. I don't know if we all were listening to the same one between Minneapolis and Chicago, but I wasn't really thrilled with the radio version of it. So again, MAGA is saying that the far left has been demonizing ICE, and now we have a shooter who is targeting ICE. However, all of the victims in the shooting were detainees
Right.
of ICE.
Right.
No members of law enforcement were injured
Right.
in the attack.
Right.
The shooter, we don't know who they were, but they have died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Yep.
I don't want to get into conspiracy theories. I don't, but I feel like all the time now, whenever Kash Patel, FBI director, gets on and tweets something, like the investigation is ongoing and he's already on social media releasing a photo that purportedly these are unfired bullets from the scene that purportedly have the word anti-ICE written on them.
Right.
Now, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist and go, oh, well, that must be something that was, they photoshopped in there. But you're already trying to, have this narrative around it. And actually, Democratic U.S. House Representative Mark Vesey called in to WFAA TV, their newscast in Dallas, and said that he was, quote, absolutely sickened, end quote, by what the officials were already releasing.
Right.
He went on to say, quote, if they are trying to control this narrative and they don't want migrants to be the victim in the story, then they may want to slow walk giving us any information about this so they can still keep on talking about attacks on ICE.
That's where law enforcement has lost, Kash Patel is a joke, but law enforcement has lost its legitimacy because anybody knows about a criminal investigation. They don't know anything. There's 10 different theories and there's evidence that suggests one thing and another. And you need people to do their job thoroughly for days before they can start to release things. The fact that Kash Patel, like the president, gets on his device and starts pushing on it is just emblematic of somebody that does not know what profession they're in.
So AP News is now reporting that the suspect has been identified as 29-year-old Joshua John, literally minutes ago. As I said that, they posted an update here. And this is as of Wednesday afternoon in the 2 p.m. hour. So for folks in Chicago, you're in the future. You know more about this than we do right at this present time. But the suspect has been identified as 29-year-old Joshua John. I'm sure the internet is already doing its thing right now and finding out what it can about him, which, here we go again. All right. We are...
Another shooting in Trump world. That's what I'm going to say about that.
In America. We're going to take a break here. Before we do, I want to share, as I have been doing for the past 6 weeks, about our travel partner, Travel Marquette. And the reason why is that Marquette, Michigan is a very special place for me. I've been going for the past 10 years. And the reason why I love it is that I can go there and travel and not have to worry about being LGBTQ. Because it's a university town, because it has a very active pride organization, because they have an ethos there of wanting to make visitors feel welcome. You can hear more about that with my conversation with the CEO of Travel Marquette that we had this past Tuesday. Look that up everywhere that you get your podcast, or at heartlandsignal.com or am950radio.com. If you would like to go to Marquette and fill your cup the way that I do in nature and eating good food, you can head to travelmarquette.com. You're listening to The Gailey Show on AM950 and WCPT 820. Hey friends, this is John Parker from The Gailey Show. When I travel, I want to go somewhere where I can unwind, get back to nature, like with waterfalls and hiking, enjoy some classic downtown shopping with good restaurants, and also just be myself as a queer person without worries. That's why twice a year for the past 10 years, I've been visiting Michigan's Marquette County. This fall, join me and head up to the Fresh Coast. Visit travelmarquette.com to start your journey.
So an atheist, a Christian, and a Buddhist walk into a church. There's no punchline. That's just what happens every Sunday at First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis. Join us for Sundays Reimagined or live stream at firstunitarian.org. Looking for community without doctrine? Questions without judgment? Think outside the pew. Join us for Sundays Reimagined at First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis or live stream at firstunitarian.org.
Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. It's the start of our favorite season in Minnesota, football season. With all the hype and action this season brings, we know things can get loud and messy quick. Before you invite your friends and family over to watch the big game, you better call my cleaning heroes at Zero Res to clean up all of those fumble moments in your home. And as always, you can score a guaranteed touchdown with great savings from Zero Res this month. Carpet, tile, rugs, upholstery, every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. And this month you can get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129, plus $75 off an air duct cleaning. And don't forget about your dryer vent, too. Having Zero Res over will be a big victory for your home. You'll always come away a winner, even if the guys in the purple or the maroon don't. Call 952-ZERO-RES or go to ZeroResMinnesota.com and ask for the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
This season, bring the whole family to see Irving Berlin's White Christmas. This smash hit musical based on the classic film returns by popular demand to delight you at Chanhassen dinner theaters. With loads of laughter and a stunning showcase of Irving Berlin songs, White Christmas is a celebration of the romance, friendship, and magic of the holidays. Make your plans today to see White Christmas. Visit chanhassendt.com.
Hey, Minnesota, it's Brad Friedman, host of the Bradcast. We'll expose and make sense of all of our current political nightmares and more every weeknight at 7 on AM 950.
Wake up with your favorite sexy liberal, me, Stephanie Miller, every weekday morning from 8 to 11 right here on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Greg Bach.
Welcome back to the Gailey Show. I am John Parker. We are coming up on the bottom of the hour. Did you listen to Jimmy Kimmel's monologue last night and or watch it? Love to get your feedback on that. 952-946-6205. 952-946-6205 if you are listening in Minneapolis during the 2 p.m. hour. So we watched it last night. I thought it was interesting. I love that he didn't let up on Trump. I love the bit with Robert De Niro playing. At first I was like, is he playing Brendan Carr? But he wasn't playing Brendan Carr. He was playing a mafioso who was basically running things at the FCC.
Right.
And, making commentary that they basically run everything like the mob does. Right. I thought it was interesting. He choked up a couple of times. Jimmy did. The one I remember is when he was choking up about Charlie Kirk's wife saying at the memorial this past weekend that she forgave the shooter. He found that to be very memorable and said that was the way forward of what we should be doing. And he did choke up and got emotional about that.
Yeah, I don't. If you've read the stuff that person has said, they have been very threatening about this whole thing. That the person that killed him didn't know what they had unleashed. So I find the forgiveness very insincere. Those two things don't make sense to me. That you could be both of those things. So I suspect one of them is insincere. One of those two elements. The threat was insincere, or the generosity was insincere. But I guess I don't know which one. So I don't take much. I don't put any stock in what she says, actually, to tell you the truth.
Well then, he did mention that 25% of the stations that are owned by 25% of ABC affiliates, which are owned by Sinclair Broadcasting and Nexstar, refused to air Jimmy Kimmel's return last night, and I thought it was very interesting how he framed it to say, my show is not important. What's important is that my show is on the air and that we have the ability to have a show like this. And I thought that was a very nice, spin on it to say, and he's very, I don't want to say he's self-deprecating, but I think he's always been kind of level-headed about, who he is, where he, ranks, I guess, within the ecosystem of Hollywood.
It's why he's so popular, even in an industry that's famous for hating everybody. It's a pretty nasty business, but everybody likes Jimmy Kimmel. He doesn't seem to offend anyone. So for these bozos to then, and I'll include on that list of bozos Bob Iger, to take this guy down because of some political screw loose that they have, or they think they're going to gain some favor or whatever with somebody that you will never satisfy, a megalomaniac like that, to play his game instead of being smart enough to play your own game, says something terrible about Bob Iger, to be honest with you. And so I thought Kimmel was like, he's like, I'm still here, and he said some of my family couldn't watch me tonight because their station didn't play it, which is shame on Sinclair and shame on Nexstar. And I'll stop there.
Yeah. The bit that got me to laugh out loud the most was when he said, "Oh, I have to read a statement that I agreed to read from Disney," and he pulls out this piece of paper and he goes, "Okay, this is what I agreed to read," and it was the instructions of how to turn back on your Disney Plus subscription. I thought that was very good
because we had turned ours off when this was first announced. So
we suspended it.
Right. I think a lot of,
or they call it pause. You can pause your subscription for up to 12 weeks.
We have power, people, as consumers. So flip that thing off when you don't like something that Bob Iger does, and he clearly listens to that.
So I don't know what to make of this next story. Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, is out with a new book, 107 Days, which is her memoir of the campaign last year, the 107-day campaign. And in it, she talked about how Mayor Pete Buttigieg was her first choice, and I should say former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg was her first choice to be her running mate. But she was very concerned that as a Black woman with a Jewish husband, that that the United States would not be ready for also to have a gay man on the ticket, which is why she went with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. And she writes in the book, part of me wanted to say, this is a quote, part of me wanted to say, screw it, let's just do it. But knowing what was at stake, it was too big of a risk, end quote. Rachel Maddow tried to sort of push back on that and said, you didn't choose him because he was gay. Vice President Harris did not like that characterization and said, there was the risks that were at stake. And she said, I may have been too conservative, and I probably, maybe I was about that, but I just felt that it wasn't that he was gay. And I was like, well, this kind of feels like you're having it both ways here. And in the book, she says that Buttigieg also knew that she wouldn't pick him because of his sexuality, and that they both had this, quote, shared mutual sadness about that fact. But now former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is out saying he doesn't recall that things went down the way that she's writing about in her book. He said that he never talked to Kamala Harris about this. He didn't even know that he was her first choice. And he said that the worries about the demographics of the 2024 Democratic ticket were not something that we ever talked about. This is reporting from LGBTQ Nation. I'm not quite sure what to make of this.
Pete Buttigieg wouldn't have known he was the number one choice. You never know that until somebody
But
calls
she said that they talked about it and that they shared a mutual sadness about it. Yeah. So in my mind, when I was listening to this on Monday, and my heart was sinking because I'm like, oh, really? You thought that was like, it hurt to hear that his sexuality was one of the reasons why she didn't pick him. But then I immediately remembered that the person who coached Tim Walz in the debate was Pete Buttigieg. Yep. Pete sat in the debate prep for JD Vance. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, like he was told by her that he wasn't going to be the choice. And now he has to sit there and prep Tim Walz. Yeah. That's got to be so difficult. But now he's out saying, I don't agree with what she was saying. We never talked about this. I didn't even know that I was her top choice.
Well, I don't know if it's controversial or not. I think the choice she made was a good one until Tim Walz proved to not be a fantastic candidate. And that was, I guess you don't know that till you ride the bike around a little bit. And yeah, I wish she now had picked somebody else, but I liked the choice in the moment. And
Well,
I think
apparently in media reports of early excerpts, she did not like Governor Walz's debate prep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be all we can talk about for that for right now, because we're going to go into a break. And when we come back, we're going to have Jake Wittich, managing editor of Windy City Times. You are listening to The Gailey Show on AM 950 KTNF and WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk.
Greg Bakken here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey, bacon, avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwich.
On 50 KTNF and WCPT 820. Jake's here.
Hello.
Oh, Jake can hear us. Hey.
How's it going?
Good. We're on a hot mic. I think we can. Oh, there you are. There's in the chat. I think we can start with the affairs director, LGBTQ affairs director role.
Yeah, that's good.
We can go into the Bisexual Awareness Week and then into the celebration.
Perfect.
All right, great. Did you see Jimmy Kimmel's monologue?
I did not. I go to bed too early, and today's just been go, go, go.
I literally stayed up for that. Did you hear about Mayor Pete kind of pushing back against Kamala Harris's claims about...
I didn't until I was listening to the first half hour, so that's all I know. It's strange.
It's really strange. I don't know what to make of it. Anyway,
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we'll flip back over to the feed and see you in a couple minutes.
Cool.
And take back your power.
Discover a world of foods. Visit Shanghai International Wholesale Market, a spacious food warehouse open to the public with discounts for buying in bulk. Incredible selection of global and local foods, 500 different types of noodles, specialty items, and local foods you won't find anywhere else. Shanghai Wholesale Market, your local international food warehouse. Shanghai is just north of University Avenue off of Pryor.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for sunny skies today with a high near 74. Tonight, clear with a low around 56. And Thursday, sunny with a high around 80. Don't miss Sasha Colby's Stripped 2 Tour, an electrifying blend of dance, storytelling, and drag artistry at the Fillmore, Minneapolis on October 9th. Listen all week to The Gailey Show and The Matt McNeil Show for chances to win tickets. You can also purchase tickets at thefillmoreminneapolis.com. That's thefillmoreminneapolis.com.
KTNF AM 950, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Coming to you from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk. Welcome back to The Gailey Show. I'm your host, John Parker. Jim Pounds, my executive producer, is in the studio with me. It is 33 minutes after the hour. I have that digital access, all access pass to Flip the Script Film Festival. Haven't had a caller call in yet. You can go to the entire festival. I wasn't expecting to have to sit on this pass this long today.
Well, I think it's a little hard to, you have to think about what that means. I think it's a little hard to understand.
You can go to the movies in person that weekend of October 3rd, or you have access at home to all of the films through the 11th. It's a $100 value. 952-946-6205. 952-946-6205. Part of the reason, 6205. Finish the phone number, John. Part of the reason why it's killing me is that I want it and I have to give it away.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think.
Wait, if we don't give it away, do I get to keep it?
No. I think we figured out that there are 37 films and that it would be $2.70 a film if you wanted to look at it that way.
Well, somebody call in and put me out of my misery. 952-946-6205. All access pass to the Flip the Script Film Festival, which opens October 3rd. All right, Windy City Times has been the voice of Chicago's LGBTQ plus community since 1985. This year marks the news outlet's 40th anniversary of uplifting queer stories, reporting with pride, and chronicling LGBTQ plus history. You can visit windycitytimes.com/newsletters to sign up for the publication's weekly LGBTQ plus news updates. We actually had the founder on yesterday.
I know.
You did.
Talking about the LGBTQ plus media mapping project.
Yep.
Isn't that cool?
Which she oversaw, like was the leader, the project director of that. So that was kind of fun to talk to her about the new project that she was working on. But she was obviously very pleased that it was this week was Windy City Times 40th anniversary.
And she kind of said that Windy City Times is one of the stalwarts. It's one of the handful of LGBT media that are sort of holding the bridge together. And so it doesn't surprise me in a way, but it was nice to hear her say that.
Of LGBTQ.
That's the word.
Of LGBTQ news reporting. Jake Wittich is managing editor of Windy City Times, where he reports in-depth stories on Chicago's LGBTQ plus community and oversees the publication's excellent newsletter operation. Jake, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. And I'm so glad to hear Tracy was here yesterday. The media mapping project is incredible. So glad you got to talk about that.
I was so geeked about it that I completely lost track of time.
Yeah.
There's so much that I wanted to talk to Tracy and Dana Piccoli, who was also here from East Out.
Also fantastic.
We completely ran out of time. And so I'm trying to get them back to come on here to talk more about it, because there's so much crucial information to know about. And also the thing I really wanted to know about, because this is stuff that we're trying to do here at the Gailey Show, which is mutual promotion. And and organizing together, and how do we lift each other up, and how do we drive people to Windy City Times to read your award-winning journalism and to sign up for your excellent newsletters? You know what I mean? Like, there's crucial stuff. How can we do that? And it was very
vice versa.
And vice versa. And it was interesting to me. We just started talking about the collaboration start of things and what's next for this project, and we'll get them back, folks. We'll have them back on.
Yeah, more to come.
More to come. Stay tuned. All right, Jake, the Chicago LGBTQ plus affairs director role that's supposed to be in the mayor's office, still unfulfilled. What is happening?
Yeah, so it's a really important role, actually. There's a lot of issues affecting LGBTQ plus people in this city. So to have a liaison in the mayor's office embedded there between our community and these city level decisions is really valuable. We've had positions like this in the past, different titles, but over the years. And basically Mayor Brandon Johnson announced last year, I think around June, that he was going to be creating this position within the mayor's office. They had a timeline then to fill it pretty ambitiously within the year, I believe. Then August came around and they had a convening where they saw a lot of input from LGBTQ plus leaders. They said they'd have the position filled by, I think, the end of the year. Here we are, September of the next year, and there's still no one in this position. So that's the gist of it.
And there was also some weirdness around the position description just appeared, and the LGBTQ council hadn't even seen it. So they didn't really have input in the creation of that.
Yeah, so at the mayor's LGBTQ plus advisory council meets quarterly, and at their quarterly meeting in May, maybe June, I'm pretty sure it was May, that's where the city kind of just announced, like, oh, by the way, 2 days ago, we posted this position for the LGBTQ plus affairs director. And for many on the mayor's LGBTQ plus advisory council, it was the first time they had heard about this job posting. So I learned at the same time as them. And it's a stark contrast from the promises that were made in August of last year, when someone from the mayor's office told them the role would be created very much in collaboration with the advisory council. So for the job posting to go up without them knowing, raised some questions about how collaborative is this role. And at the time, there were a lot of questions. Why is it a 2-week application window? People felt like that's not enough time to find someone of quality to fill this role. Why weren't the mayor's LGBTQ advisory council members involved in drafting the job posting? And what role would they play in interviewing and hiring this role? And the mayor's office didn't have answers to those questions at the meeting. So I didn't get any updates throughout the summer, but the council met again very recently, like a week and a half ago. So I went to the meeting and the mayor's office came in and gave an update. And basically they still have not filled the role. They did extend the application window to 3 weeks instead of 2. Just for context, every job posting that the mayor's office does, no matter what the role, is a 2-week application window. So it's not like it was shorter than normal postings.
Right.
And then the interviews were all done throughout the summer, and members of the mayor's LGBTQ plus advisory council, those who are committee chairs, sat in on every interview. Like there was representation from the council in every interview, and they got to provide feedback. But it's not hired yet, and I can tell you why.
So why?
Yeah, I feel like I'm rambling. But the reason is the department within the mayor's office that this position was going to fall under recently got restructured. It's now 2 separate departments. So the new one that the chief LGBTQ director, whatever it's called, the new department that it falls under has a new commissioner who just started like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And now that commissioner has to go through all the applications and have a chance to have their own say in the hiring.
So did I read correctly that it's the Department of Health and Human Services?
Yes. Yeah.
Was there a health equity component to the role?
That's certainly a part of it. I mean, I'm not sure. It's a mess, and like
I don't recall there being.
Yeah.
I saw it when you're first reporting about it. I went and I read the position description.
You're right. Yeah.
There being a health component to the role, so I just kind of like.
It is odd. Yeah. Maybe it's more of the human services side.
Yeah. Maybe. It seemed an interesting place, but again, I don't know all the names of the different departments within the mayor's office.
It's confusing. I was trying to get clarity on like, okay, what department split into these 2 departments? And the website, it was not clear. Communication with the mayor's office is not easy. So yeah, it's hard.
So what will the advisory council's role? I mean, if they were just updated on this last week, and they probably don't even know themselves what their role will be in this moving forward, or is it literally just in the hands of the commissioner now?
Yeah, I think it's just in the hands of the commissioner now. The commissioner has all the feedback that the advisory council drafted over the summer, but it does raise questions to me. I'm starting to wonder, what role does the mayor's office see the advisory council as playing? Because I'm noticing when they talked to me last year about the Pride Parade being cut in half and they hadn't been consulted about that decision, the mayor's office wasn't too pleased they were talking to me. I've noticed at this recent meeting when the chair of the advisory council, after they got this update, he said, we urge you to fill this position as soon as possible. The mayor's office representative kind of cut them off. It was almost like they didn't want them speaking in this public forum where they could be quoted saying that. I don't know. I can't be jumping to conclusions like that, but I just have questions like, what is the mayor's advisory council's role? How does the mayor's office view it, and how do the council members view it? So that's a tension that I'm going to be looking into going forward. And when there is a new director of LGBTQ affairs, that's a question I'd like to ask them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this person will find it easy to be successful in a job like this? I mean, I know there's lots of colors in the rainbow and lots of people to try to satisfy and lots of expectations that have been built. Is this something that will be hard to be good at or hard to get any consensus on? Or is everybody wanting the role in the community, bad enough that it needs to be filled, and we can improve on it later?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I've been wondering the same thing, especially with budgets tightening. To get, it's one thing to have someone in this role, but for them to do the work to advance the community at this time, they do need money because labor is time, and you need to pay people for their time. So I don't know, it's going to be a challenge. We have a lot of needs in this community at the moment, from HIV funding to equity for trans people. So it's definitely a big role, but it's an important role. And we've seen instances where the mayor's office has made decisions without a deeper level of engagement of the LGBTQ plus community. So I'm hoping that this advocate in the mayor's office could create more of that.
We're talking with Jake Wittich, managing editor of Windy City Times. I guess it doesn't, as a former chief diversity officer, now again, this was in higher education, not in the government sector. This doesn't augur well. This all for that role. Like this, all of this kind of just makes me feel a little sad for the person who's going to be coming into the role. Like it makes me, it has question marks of, will the role be supported? How is that? You know what I mean? Do they just feel obligatory, the mayor's office, to have the role? So that person's just going to be sort of marginalized within the decision-making process. I mean, maybe it won't turn out that way, but just the way they've slow walked this for over a year and a half. This is my own personal editorial commentary, which could be completely off base. I'm not even in the city, so it's really easy for me to say that. But it just raises, I'm like, if I put my CDO hat on, I'm having a lot of red flags right now. Is all I'm going to say, I guess.
That's fair, yeah.
All right, so turning to Bisexual Awareness Week, how has Chicago been recognizing it this week?
Yeah, so Bisexual Awareness Week wrapped up yesterday with Bisexual Visibility Day. And we had a really fun celebration in Chicago. For the first time ever, the bisexual pride flag was raised in Logan Square. And it was a fun early Sunday morning assignment I did, but it was just so cute, just a whole community in the park raising this bi flag. Someone played Lady Gaga's Born This Way as it went up the pole, and it was so celebratory of bisexual people today. And there was a recognition of some activists who came before us. So it was really cool.
And you got to talk to Robert Castillo, who is a community activist. Can you share what Robert had to say about the event?
Yeah, so Robert Castillo is a longtime gay and Latino activist. And he actually used to write for En La Vida back in the day, which is one of Windy City Times' specialty newsletters now. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for him and things he's done for our community. But he basically was saying back in the day, he learned through his organizing that bisexual people felt invisible within the LGBTQ plus community. And there used to be like rallies before or after the Pride Parade, when it was probably still a march at the time, where people would give speeches. And Robert was saying every time someone would say, like, for gay and lesbian, there were bisexual and activists in the crowd that would shout, "and bisexual." So it really awakened Robert to realize, like, they're a part of our community. And for decades now, he's really made efforts to include them, which I think is awesome.
I have to fit in a break here. I still want to talk a little bit more about this event when we come back. We're going to have more with Jake Wittich, managing editor of Windy City Times. You can keep the conversation going on our Blue Sky. We're at thegayleyshow.org on Blue Sky. You can also sign up for the AM 950 Radio newsletter. If you go to am950radio.com, scroll down, you'll find the sign up button. You can find information about all of AM 950 shows, plus more from The Gayley Show, including ticket giveaways. am950radio.com to sign up. You're listening to The Gayley Show. More after this break.
This is Mitch, owner of Junk Masters. Feeling overwhelmed by clutter? Spring's the perfect time to reclaim your space and peace of mind. Renting a dumpster is costly, and it all ends up in the landfill. Just show us what goes. We give usable items a second life by donating them. No calling all over town trying to figure out who takes what. We do the legwork for you. Easy, cost-effective, and local. There's no obligation. Visit junkmastersmn.com today.
Hey, it's Tom. There's a war being waged on clean energy. A bill in Congress could eliminate the 30% federal tax credit for solar by the end of 2025. And once it's gone, it may never come back. Fossil fuel giants and their MAGA friends in Washington want to kill green energy. But you can fight back. Going solar with all energy solar isn't just smart, it's a form of resistance. You choose where your money goes, not to utility companies, not to fossil fuel billionaires, but toward clean, renewable power for your home. A system from All Energy Solar works in Minnesota year-round because it runs on sunlight, not heat. So even in the dead of winter, you're generating electricity. And All Energy Solar helps you save with every rebate and incentive available. This is the moment to act. Waiting means risking with this tax credit and giving the upper hand to MAGA Republicans. So get your free consultation today at allenergysolar.com and take back your power.
Hey, Francois, what's with all the wrapping paper?
Salut, Laura, je fais des cadeaux.
You're making gifts. These must be for your clients. And then your favorite macaroons for Nicolettes.
Bien sûr.
Oh, they put your business logo on them? Luxurious.
Oui, et ils expédient partout dans le pays.
They ship anywhere in the U.S. and look how many you bought. You must have lots of clients.
Mais non, ils sont tous pour moi.
Oh, Francois, these are just for you? Well, visit nicoletsmacaroons.com today to create thoughtful gifts for your business, your friends, or yourself.
This is no bedtime story. It's Treasure Island, a thrilling stage adventure packed with sword fights, secrets, and the lure of buried gold. Join young Jim Hawkins and the infamous Long John Silver as they set sail on a journey where trust is tested and danger lurks behind every wave. Live on stage at Children's Theatre Company, September 9th through October 19th. Tickets at childrenstheatre.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for sunny skies today with a high near 74. Tonight, clear with a low around 56. And Thursday, sunny with a high around 80. Looking for a cozy neighborhood bar and restaurant in Minneapolis? Nightingale serves delicious American classics like their famous Nightingale Burger, ginger tamari chicken wings, and more. Open daily 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. with takeout available. Visit nightingalempls.com for details.
AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Welcome back to The Daily Show. We are coming up on the top of the hour. I'm John Parker, Jim Pounds, executive producer in studio with me. We're talking with Jake Wittich, managing editor of Windy City Times. Before the break, Jake, we were talking about Bisexual Awareness Week and the raising for the first time of the bisexual flag in Logan Park. You also talked with Greg, and I'm sorry, I want to talk about activist Mikey Oboza, who donated the flag, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mikey Oboza co-founded the Bisexual Queer Alliance Chicago with Ed Negron, who is a bisexual activist and a former photographer of Windy City Times. And he passed away in 2021. So Mikey brought a beautiful photo of him and Ed Negron back in the day when they're, early years of B-Quack is what they call it, which is a cute name. Their logo is a duck with 5 colors, so it's cute. But anyway, so he brought this photo of him and Ed Negron and held it close to his heart as the flag went up. Spoke about Ed's vision for a very inclusive Chicago that includes bi people and trans people. It's just really beautiful to be able to pay tribute to Ed in that way.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Another cool thing I learned, I didn't know this, some people might already, but the bi flag, after it was created by Michael Page in 1998, he had a conversation with a trans Navy veteran, Monica Helms. And basically he told her, like, trans people need their own flag. Like, they deserve just as much visibility. And that conversation inspired Monica Helms to create the trans flag.
Wow.
Yeah. So Mikey pointed this out during the ceremony, and it just goes to show we can't have all of our liberation is tied. We can advance bisexual people and trans people together. And when we do it together, both causes are stronger.
Amazing. Oh, I love that. And
I loved it too.
I love all the flags that we have now. And I know there's some folks that are trying to unify all of the flags together. There's the most, I think right now the one that's considered the most inclusive has the yellow triangle with the purple circle, which is
for intersex people.
But I just love having all of them.
I love them all. I love the combinations of them all. So
yeah. It's like queer UN. I'm like, more flags, just more flags. I get the impulse to unify them into a single one, but I'm like, nah. Just give me them all.
Yeah, all the above.
all of the above. All the above. All right. So speaking of special events, it's Windy City Times' 40th anniversary, and I've heard somewhere through the grapevine that there was a pronouncement from a certain city council.
Yes, yeah, that's pretty cool. Tomorrow for those in Chicago who are hearing this on Thursday, today in City Council, they are passing a resolution honoring Windy City Times for its 40 years of history. And I want to thank Alderman Andre Vasquez. His office is the one that drafted this resolution.
That's amazing. And also coincides with a special get-together that's on Thursday evening.
Yes, we are having our big 40th anniversary party. For those in Chicago hearing on Thursday, it's tonight, September 25th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Sidetrack. We might have a few tickets left. Go to windycitytimes.com to buy them, but it's going to be a really good time. It's Anna Deshawn, who writes our Black Lines newsletter, and she founded E3 Radio. She's emceeing the event. We have beats by the legendary DJ Laura Branch, VD Girl, who I see at Smart Bar. She's amazing. She's DJing as well. Taylor's Tacos, a wonderful queer-owned business, is catering food. And we'll have some speeches from me, which I don't know. We'll see how that goes. No, I'm kidding. Tracy's going to speak, and so is Achi Obejas, who is a former contributor and columnist for Windy City Times. And her new book, The Boy Kingdom, El Reino de los Veranos, is coming out soon. It's a bisexual collection of prose poems that reflect on queer motherhood.
Wow.
Will you be in a tuxedo, or it's not that formal?
No, I don't make tuxedo money.
I want to see a picture of that.
Yeah, no, I have a cute shirt. It's actually right behind me. It's just a button up black. It's a little edgy. I'm excited to wear it. So
send us pictures.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's very exciting. I'm so glad for all of you. And is there gonna be video? Y'all should like social media that so we can see this.
I know. I'm hoping someone does. I'm gonna take videos and stuff throughout. I've never made a TikTok or a reel before, but maybe I will out of this event. It's time for me to learn.
If you're gonna start a TikTok, that would be a good way to start.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm just excited. I'm so proud to work at Windy City Times. We've been doing this, not me, but the organization has for 40 years now. And that's just amazing. Like, the first draft of our history is in the Windy City Times archives. Like, this outlet helped push for the gay rights ordinance in the 80s in Chicago. It was a leader in the March on Springfield for marriage equality in 2013. Just so much impact is in this publication's archives, and to stand on that legacy has me so proud, and I'm even more proud to carry it into the future.
That's great.
Congratulations. How long have you been with the publication?
Only almost 2 years. I did freelance back in the day, and then I just had a journey, at other news outlets that eventually brought me back to Windy City Times. So,
Well, you've clearly made an impact.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really proud. I've come into my own since joining Windy City Times full time almost 2 years ago now. I'm more confident than I've ever been, happiest I've ever been. I'm truly aligned with my purpose in life. So it's been great.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
We wouldn't have met you if we wouldn't have had this, which is also great. And you're a guest host of the Gaily Show now. So, it all comes together.
Yeah, when you're doing what you're supposed to do, the stars just align.
Exactly. Well, okay, folks, go to windycitytimes.com. There are a variety of newsletters that you can sign up for there with excellent reporting. I get them in my inbox every week. Really fun to read and look through. And you can read more of Jake's reporting every day of the week. You can go to windycitytimes.com and see all of the great reporting that they're giving us from Chicago. Thank you, Jake. Congratulations, pre-congratulations for tomorrow night, and then we'll see you back here in a couple weeks.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Up next on WCPT 820 is Choose Views with Richard Chu on AM 950 Radio. It's the Matt McNeil Show. Stay tuned after that for Native Roots Radio. And then at 10 p.m. Central, step into the unknown with Greg Bakken on Ghostbox Radio. And until tomorrow, keep it queer, America.
Keep it queer.